Well, hello again, friends and fans. Raptor here with more exciting news. I'm sure you've already heard, but if not, decks are available, baby. That's right, let's go to the Armory and let's check out every unit available. Oh, look at that, isn't that cute little Jeep? Oh my god, and if you click on it, oh, look, you can make a drive. Vroom. Isn't that awesome? Back that ass up. Yeah, baby, that's sweet. So let's go through and I will explain the deck system, I will explain all the alliances, I will give you a rundown of everything you need to know in AirLand battle, baby. Let's do it, shall we? So your alliances, of course, are NATO versus PAC. This is a simulation from the 70s and 80s of the Soviet Union, or aka the PAC, going to war with the American, Canadian, Allied Forces, Scandinavian Forces, also known as NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Now, what you need to know is that this is going to be a fictional simulation of those kinds of factions and all of the weapons that they had available and all of their realistic stats during that period. So let's go through the deck systems and I'll show you how all of that should work. But first, let's go through the Armory and kind of look at everything that's available. Now, of course, during these matches, I told you a lot about these vehicles and what their capabilities are. But let's have that Jeep back that ass up a little bit, and I'll show you exactly what that is. So this is the command Jeep here. That's right, baby. So this is basically what brings in command, gives you control of certain areas in the game. These CVs, command vehicles, or CP as this one's called. This is the Canadian M38A1 CP, and you also have different access to different things, including armored personnel carriers that function as the same. That's got to be like a giant air conditioner right there. And also you have the Grizzly CP. Ooh, that looks sweet. And also the Leopard C1. Oh, that looks great. That is really a sexy looking tank, baby. Look at that. So, we can also look at things like the Stalwart and basically everything that's available under logistics for them. For instance, we've selected the logistics for all factions. So let's actually just look at what NATO has to offer. So we'll do that by deselecting Pact and looking at all of the available CPs. So it looks like for, at least for what I can look at, is the Stalwart and the Amphifield. I don't exactly know these names, of course. I'm sure some of you get frustrated with me in that. But then, of course, you can look at what the French have. Let's actually just start with the Americans, and we'll kind of quickly go through what NATO has to offer. This will make things a little more simple, I think. So for the Americans, they have the 151A1 CP, which is really similar to the Canadian one. In fact, there's really no difference other than just the modeling of it. This has no armament and barely any armor at all. You can see how fast it goes, and its fuel capacity, stealth, everything else on the right, as well as the year, made in 1960. So, and by the way, any Eugen developers out there, great game mode would be to limit it by the year. It would be really cool if you guys made a simulation for like 1971, all technologies available at that year. That would be really cool. You also have the Humvee CP, which does come with a the M2 Browning on top of it. You have the M11 4A1, which also has a Browning on top of it. A little more armor. I'm not going to go through everything, but just peer down over there in the right-hand corner, and you'll be able to see everything that's available. I wonder what height grid does. Oh, okay, we can just look strictly at the vehicle. All right, you have your M577, which is similar to the Canadian one I showed you, and your M60 command as well, with independent turret for the machine gun. Really cool up there. Here's your cargo vehicles that those Marines are getting. Let's have it move around a little bit just to show you guys that it can move. Burp, burp. I love that. That's really cool. Let's back it up, boys. Oh, look at that. He can turn on a dime. Very cool. Let's look at the Hemet. It's basically the same thing, of course, but with different stats, along with the Super Chinook. Whoa, baby, back up. You also have your UH-1A ACP and your FOB, of course, which ironically somehow fits into this bunker. Hilarious. We also have infantry groups, including your Dragon teams, and the different transports that they get as well. Oh, you can actually buy them individually. Oh, I see, with the M35. Okay, I was going to say it looks like they're available without the vehicle, but nope. So you can see the different armaments they get there as well. The transport with the Dragons on it as well. You've got Bradley fighting vehicles and different variants of that as well. We'll just quickly go through everything. And you can see that they get flamethrowers and ATGMs. You've got assault engineers with various different vehicles. You've got, wow, a lot of assault engineers, a lot of different variants of those. You have your Delta Force that comes in the M35, Humvee, Huey, and Blackhawk, not to mention the Chinook, baby. That's a big boy. You got your your AA units. These all basically come in the same transports, but the infantry is different, so we'll kind of skip through some of that. You've got your Bradley. This is the LAAD Red Eye AA system, but it's carried by one man. You can see that man in the back with that. But these are the different transports for it. We'll skip those. We'll just go now to the basic groups. You've seen most of the transports. So here's what the riflemen look like, and there's the transports that they get. The Americans also get, well, they have riflemen, then they have light riflemen, which are a little more affordable, it seems. 20 plus 1. Actually, interesting. They're actually more. But actually, that might be riflemen. Light riflemen. Oh, light riflemen are actually have heavier armament. Interesting. And then you have your Marines. Wow, with your looks like they all pretty much come with the M72. And then let's move on to support. So here's your mortar carrier here. Different variants of that. You have your Chaparral, upgraded Chaparral, and the Avenger Humvee AA system. You've got your M109, your M109A2, and your Paladin baby. Got your M110 and your A2 of that version. I wonder does it look different? Oh, it looks like it's the same except for oh no, the barrel does change slightly on that. Okay. Your Vulcan and your PVADs with radar, your MLRS and your Hawk, which is basically a Chaparral with different missiles on the back of it. Also, I've noticed a few times this missile will point into the back of that guy's head. Let's go to American tanks now, baby. Looks like you've got your Abrams and different variants of that as well. You've got your United States Marine Corps M60s. You've got your Sheridans, your Pattons, and there's the different variants of that. Your Starships, not Cobra though. Sounds like I was talking about. Oh wait, what? Wow, it has a bulldozer on the front of it. Very cool unit. That's gonna kill infantry, no problem. All right, let's move on to Recons. You got your M150 with different variants for that. LAV Scout as well. Wow, that looks cool. You've got your Mutt and Humvee variants of those Recon. You've got your Armored Cavalry and your Bradleys for Recon as well. You've got different versions for the M114A2. You've got your F.A.V. Wow, with different mounted machine guns on that too. That should have 2 guys in it, I think. Let's see if we can move around a little bit. Middle mouse button. All right, let's go to what was next. The Rangers. You get a group of Rangers with different transports again, so that's kind of why I'm skipping those. And then, of course, that was the same Rangers. The Kiowa, and the Kiowa with the upgraded little, with the little weird face on it, and then the weird face with Hellfires. Okay, next up, you've got vehicles. These are going to be really interesting for the Americans. You've got your LVTP-7, which is an amphibious vehicle, but not in the game. I don't think it can cross rivers or anything yet. That is also an updated version of that, and the LAV. You've got the M113 with Dragon, and then one without Dragon. Interesting how that one's more, but the one with the Dragon, that's kind of weird. Oh, it's a prototype. I see. Okay. There are prototypes in here as well. M150, and these are tow vehicles, by the way. You have your Zippo, and a Zippo tank as well, which is basically a flamethrower tank. You've got additional tow vehicles, which includes the Humvee and the little Jeep there. You got your Ontos for the Marines, which is basically like a Weasel with recoilless rifles on it. You've got your 163 CS, which is kind of like what the Afghaniski used to be in the old game. It's basically just a Gatling gun that'll fire at the ground, but it can also engage helicopters, just with a greater inaccuracy. You've got Bradleys, and those are also great for ATGMs and, of course, M35s and Humvees to transport troops around if they happen to lose their transports. Let's go through, let's look at the Cobras real quickly. Oh, that is sweet. Look at the paint jobs on those, boy. Nice. Very cool. You've also got your Sea Cobra for the Marines, and your Apache, of course. That is not a prototype, but I think it's only available to the Americans. Yes, it is a prototype. Very cool. It's got the cavalry on the side, cavalry marker there. There's your Chinook. Gonna make sure we're backed up for that one. All right. Let's see. You got your OH-56CS, which is an AA chopper. You have your Seahawk, which is an, wow, look at that. Look at those missiles on it. Ooh, that's a bad boy right there. Oh, they're all mounted on one side. That's cool. Very cool variant there. You've got your Hog, which can just fire a huge amount of missiles. and your Heavy Hog, which can fire missiles, and smiley faces from Super Mario. No, they're grenades. It can fire grenades, so stay the hell away from that. You've got your Huey with the machine gun on the side of it, just like a Nom Baby, and then you've got your Black Hawk, which pretty much has the same thing, except double the fire rate and double the guns. And of course, then you've got regular transports for the Twin Huey and for the regular Huey. Twin Huey must have more engine power, I believe. I'm no expert on helicopters, but I'm going to assume that. All right, let's go to the PLA, which is the planes, I suppose. Ooh, baby, A10. Look at that. Even the little logos on the side for the area that it's from in the United States. I know nothing about it, though. And your Gatling cannon in the front. You got your Skyhawk. Both of them are Skyhawk 2s, but you can see the different weapons that they get. You have your intruders with bombs underneath. You've got your Corsairs with bombs underneath as well. Harriers here. Really reminds me of when Arnold Schwarzenegger, get out. If you remember that movie. You've got the Prowler. You've got your Raven. I know we're going rather quickly, but going to try to cover each faction in 10 minutes or less. We've also got the Aardvark. Yes, the Aardvark is it's a bomber. It's got a lot of cluster bombs on it too, and I believe it can also fire. I thought it fired missiles, but I guess it... Wow, even more cluster bombs. That's awesome. That is an awesome unit. There's also radar-defying ones that can fire... I believe they can hide from enemy radar, the symbol up here. It should explain that, but it doesn't. I think it has radar resistance, which means it can be seen by radar, but not until it's very close. It has some special design or computer system in it or something, just like with the Nighthawk, except the Nighthawk's a bomber and doesn't seem to have that, although it has a paveway on-guided bomb on it. Also, you've got your Tomcats here, your F-15 Eagles, F-15C. Wow, look at with the different weapons variants and different mounts and engine speeds change, of course. You have your Strike Eagle there, which is basically, I'm sorry, this is the F-15. This is the F-14 right here. Fighting Falcon also. Oh, that is a beautiful one. I love the Fighting Falcon. A real cool looking one, the F-16. And then you have your F-4J Phantom, which is a Vietnam era weapon. Or rather weapons platform. You can see that it has bombs there. You got your Wild Weasel. Oh man, that's like an upgraded, yep, it is an upgraded F4. But here's the F-18 Hornet. That's also a great one. Blue Angels fly that. Special American faction that kind of goes off and shows off the power of American engineering, and also another different variant of the Hornet. So anyway, I know we went over things really quickly. I went over a little bit of the game. Return next time, friends and fans. We'll be going through all factions, including the Brits, the French, the Germans, the Canadians, the Danish, the Swedes, and the Norwegians, and then we'll cover what Mother Russia has to offer and all the packed units. So until next time, friends and fans, this is Raptor, hoping to teach you more in the future. So we'll see you. Goodbye.